Back. Apple announcing first quarter results next Tuesday, where all eyes will be on the 5G iPhone. Ahead of earnings, multiple firms have jumped into the debate. Cowen telling investors that 5G adoption could drive full year 2021 units. Bush raising its price target to a street high of $400, saying the street is still underestimating the magnitude of the 5G upgrade cycle. Bernstein stating that investors are increasingly looking forward to the 5G iPhone, and Morgan Stanley commenting that part of Apple's big run has been anticipation of 5G. So I guess really it's guidance for the year ahead that will be impacted by 5G as opposed to the quarter that will be reported. Anyway, joining us to discuss, Krish Sankar, Managing Director and Senior Research Analyst at Cowen, and CNBC's John Fortt. Very good afternoon to you both. John, what are the key things that you think analysts and investors will be looking out for, given this extraordinary run we've had? I guess they're looking out for absolutely everything, and everything's got to beat quite comfortably.
You would think so, but, I mean, you think about in the past 3 months, right, since the last report, what's really changed? I mean, maybe people have gotten a bit more confident about the iPhone 11, but it's not like some huge new thing has been announced. So, yes, the iPhone number always matters. You expect, 50 billion-ish in revenue from the iPhone alone. But I think you've got to look at wearables and see, did they make 10 billion or more in that wearables category? That's been high growth for them. And does services continue to look healthy? Because this valuation isn't just coming from iPhone. iPhone's been around forever. Investors must want to believe that these other areas are growing on their own and creating a virtuous cycle within the ecosystem leading up to the 5G cycle.
So, Krish, with 5G coming down the pike, how much does that matter versus some of the other things that Apple's doing with services, with wearables, with, Apple TV?
Sure. I mean, it does definitely matter a lot. The first thing I'd point out is that Apple is notoriously secretive, so don't expect to hear a lot about the 5G iPhone next week because the schedule is supposed to be end of the year, so they only give 1 quarter out guidance, so they're going to give guidance on March. But the 5G iPhone is expected to be a big incentive for the iPhone unit numbers to move higher. And like John mentioned, iPhone 11 was a success, but I think if you look it back in perspective, a year ago, people are very negative on iPhones. And then that sentiment changed in the back half of last year, and then it improved after the iPhone 11 was released because one of the big drivers for iPhone 11 was the fact that the battery life was very good. So then that drove people spending more on iPhone 11 versus the view before that no one is going to buy an iPhone 11. They'd rather wait a year later for the 5G. So to me, I think the sentiment on iPhone has evolved, and I feel like it's continuing to evolve into the 5G cycle. And I think that is like a bullish indicator for the stock.